Hello, I'm James. Welcome back to Friday Finds. You find me in the top store again, not least because it's air conditioned. I've been challenged today for today's Friday Finds to talk about some objects or boxes of objects without seeing them first. So my colleague Sam has selected 3 boxes for me to have a look at. I have no idea what's in them apart from this one that I can see through a little bit. I'm going to start from the top, lift the lid, and see what we can come up with. It's a small box with some weight. It's got a number on the front, 1976/360. That means it was accessioned in 1976, and it was the 360th object that year to be accessioned. And it has the word echinoid on the box. I shouldn't have told you that. I should have pretended that I knew for a fact that this was an echinoid. This is it's a fossil. It's a fossil. It's a very nicely formed, preserved fossil of an echinoid. If you see it closer, you can see the star-like pattern on that. And this is part of the local geology. You find these in limestone, so this will very likely be a Cotswold object. And a date, couple of 100 million years old, I would put that. I don't know whether it's Jurassic or earlier. I would have to consult my colleague Michaela on the geology. But yeah, that's as far as I can go with that. That's a nice object. Oh, it's a... There we are. Calliopeus ploti. If you can see that. Box number 2. The label on this one says Amphitheatre Topsoil Finds 1977, and the object numbers on them are from 1990. So it could be that whoever found these held on to them for a while before they were donated to the museum and then accessioned in 1990. So we have a variety of objects in this box. Most of them are copper alloy, but this one is iron. It's the first one I pulled out. It's an iron arrowhead by the looks of things. Difficult to date arrowheads because they look very similar throughout time, but it could be that that is a genuine Roman arrowhead or the tip of a small spear. This looks like a handle of some sort from perhaps a cooking vessel. I suspect that is Roman also. It's a very nice little decorated bone object. It's the end of a handle of something. What the actual tool was itself is difficult to say. Decorated bone with rings on like this, you get them throughout time, but certainly you do find them in the Roman period, so this could well be Roman also. And Amphitheatre Topsoil Clearance 1977, bronze waste from casting. So this is likely Roman. That does look like, yeah, it's from casting, but that might be from the creation of a brooch or something. But indeed, it could also just be a piece of waste from bronze casting, which suggests metalworking in the Roman period, somewhere around the amphitheatre, which is, it's not unlikely. Various finds like this have been found out near to or outside of the walls of the Roman town. Those sort of smelly, smoky, hot working industrial things do tend to be in those outside spaces, the liminal or submural spaces, if you like. There's a few other objects in the box. These look like they might be a bit more recent, perhaps. It's a pin, clothes pin with a black, it could be jet. That's Roman. It's a Roman brooch. Okay, so some nice little finds there. If somebody had found these in topsoil in the amphitheatre, it's likely that they were working there, and that the collection of these objects was done with knowledge of archaeologists. Today that is a protected site, so any finds ought to be reported, but certainly soil must not be moved to find things in the amphitheatre. And finally, let's stand up for this one. Looks like it might be heavy. Aha. Oh, very nice. Okay. So this is also a limestone object. Does that show in the shot? The limestone object. And if I hold it under the light, you can see the relief pattern carved into that is of two big eyes. This is a limestone corbel. The purpose of a corbel, if you don't know, is to take a post as part of the vaulting of a roof, and you find them in churches. This one is from the 12th or late 11th century and may well come from a church local to Cirencester, perhaps even the medieval abbey or the parish church. The parish church itself has one of these surviving. It's no longer doing the job that it was made for. If you go to the chancel of the parish church, you can see one of these high up on the wall, perhaps where the corbel table used to be before the roof was then rebuilt higher in the 14th century. So that's what that is. And it's the style is Romanesque, Norman period. You'd call it Romanesque in style, and it's a time when things like this were carved to be very abstract, larger than life, not very realistic. From the 13th and 14th century, you see much more realistic figures and heads as corbels, but in this period they're always creatures of some kind, sometimes dogs, sometimes lions. We've got some very nice ones on display in the museum as well. And strangely, there are three of these. See if you can spot them around town. There are three of these on houses in Cirencester. One's very near to the museum, and there's two others a bit further out on Watermore Road, and the one near the museum is on it's on the bend from Park Street through to Thomas Street, and it's difficult to spot, but once you've spotted it, you'll recognise it as one of these because of the large eyes. And the deep relief of the carving is made so that when they are hanging placed very high up onto the wall of a church with light shining in from the stained glass windows, that light will cut across these, creating deep and dark shadows. Some of these were gilded and painted, so they would have been really a sight to see when they were up there on the walls. And the box itself, stone corbel, 2016/63. Now I suspect that is an object where the original provenance of that object is not known, and it's still our responsibility to catalogue these objects, even if they've been in collections and not catalogued for years and years and years. So it's likely that we've had this object for quite a while in the museum, but because of the backlog cataloguing that museums do, it's now recorded, even if the original find location is sadly not known to us. But that might pop up at some point in an old archive. So, but it does relate very closely to what I've seen in the parish church. So there we go. I think that's the object of the selection for me. I really like those Romanesque corbels. There we go. Thank you very much. I think we might do this again and hand over to another colleague of ours for another surprise bundle of boxes for a Friday finds. Thanks very much.